guys, I'm going to come and talk to you about how I've made my life so completely simple, and I'm so excited because I'm secretly a tech geek and I just love electronics and just like gadgets and things that make life easier. I've been fascinated with stuff like this since I was a kid, just because I think like the Jetsons era, I always wanted to live in an automated world where everything was just automatic. And so we live in a world like that now. And I want to share with you guys how I am making my life way more simpler, more productive, and automated with like the simplest products and how affordable it is to everyone. So I recently bought the Google Home, and it was a tough decision because I was trying to decide between the Apple HomePod and the Google Home because I pretty much reside in an Apple ecosystem. I have an iMac, I have a MacBook, I have a Apple TV and an iPhone, all that stuff. So I was like, okay, I probably should get the HomePod, but the reviews are terrible, so I ended up going with the Google Home, and it's the best decision that I think I have ever made. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy that I can't even stop buying them. Like, I bought one for this video specifically to do a giveaway because I was just like, oh my god, they were on sale. And I'm so excited. So basically, I bought the Google Home and the Google Home Mini. Now, I started out with one Google Home. I had it in my bedroom, and then I had one Mini, and I put it in the kitchen because those were the two areas that I'm always like constantly in, and I'm doing a lot of functional type of things there. So like when I was in the kitchen, you know, I would need little things like, hey Google, can you, oh, let me not, stop. I forgot when I say that. That's like the trigger word to start it. Excuse me while I let the siren pass. Okay, so yeah, I'd be in the kitchen. I need something small, like while I'm washing dishes, while I'm preparing a meal, or cutting something up, or juicing. And in the middle of it, I may need to set a timer for the oven, or just look up some information, like how many cups are in a liter, or whatever I may need to do. I can do it without stopping. I can do it without like washing my hands. I can say, you know, say the command word. What time is it? Or what time does Target close? Or what time, you know, like any store that you need. And it also calls. So I can be like, call Target. And it can call Target and I can check availability or for a product if I'm going to go get something later or what the case may be. It could check traffic. It could do anything. So like if you're going to leave for the airport, you can ask it, what's traffic like on the Van Wyck, or what's traffic like going to such and such international airport, whatever airport's closest to your home, and it tells you, so you have an idea of how much time you're going to need to get ready, or whatever the case may be. It's super functional. So the one I have in the kitchen, I use it for those things, basically asking Google questions that I would normally stop, dry my hands, look up on my phone. I can just say it out loud. Like, it's amazing. Like, any random thought that I'm having, I'm like, how much does such and such cost? Or I started using rice water in my hair, and I'm literally washing my hair in the kitchen sink, and I'm like, hey, how do you use rice water? Like, I needed to know, do I put it in before the conditioner, after the conditioner? And all I did was say, how do you use rice water? And then it tells you, it literally brings up the first Google article, and it tells you the directions.
How do you use rice water for hair?
Here is some information from the web that might possibly help. On the website medicalnewstoday.com, they say, wash hair with shampoo, rinse thoroughly with water from the tap, pour rice water onto their hair, massage the rice water into the hair and scalp.
Like, it's so great. It's so easy. So I started out with the one in my kitchen and then the one in my bedroom. Now the one in my bedroom is the Google Home. The Mini is in the kitchen, and then the Home, which is the bigger one, is in my bedroom. The thing about the one in my bedroom, it's probably the most productive and functioning thing that I could have ever added just to my entire bedroom aura, because I've been doing this thing lately where I try not to sleep with my phone in my bedroom, like try not to sleep with my device in my bedroom, just because, you know, cut down on the radiation. If you're going to sleep with your phone in the bedroom, it's probably best to sleep with it like across the room, like maybe on your dresser or somewhere else, but not necessarily on the nightstand or in the bed like we're normally used to doing. So I've been doing this amazing thing where the first 20 minutes of my day, I have zero communication with anyone but myself or my soul. And basically what that means is I'm listening to something inspirational, either a podcast or a YouTube video, just in that first 20 minutes, and I just have zero contact with anyone else, because the first thing we do when we wake up is check our phone, and there's so much going on in our phone that it's just like notification, text message, WhatsApp, this, that. It's like so much to take in when you first wake up that I feel like you kind of need a buffer to really gather your thoughts and let your spirit come to a whole before you're able to disperse yourself into so many different distractions on your phone. So that first 20-minute thing has been working out really great for me. I've been doing it for like a month now, and I feel a little bit more at peace than I did before. And then it helps me because I'm doing self-building, you know what I mean? Like I'm working on myself as I do this. So it's like I'm doing the work, and I definitely see the benefits of it paying off. So having the Google Home in my bedroom helps a lot with not having to touch my phone again. So I have a thing called, they have routines that you can set up in your Google Home device. So I have a routine for going to bed, waking up, I'm home. You can set up a routine for practically anything, but for me, those are the few routines that I have set up so far. And so going to bed, all I do is say good night. And it just starts doing these lists of things that I ask it to do. So one, it tells me the weather for tomorrow. It tells me the things I have to do tomorrow, like on my task list or reminder list. It tells me any important appointments or events that I have tomorrow. And then it asks me what time I want to set my alarm for. The beautiful thing about that is you can set your alarm on your phone, yeah, but asking what time you want to set the alarm for is great because every day for me is different. I may not need to be up early, or I may not need to sleep in, or whatever the case may be. So I get to just say, hey, yeah, set my alarm to Babyface Radio at 10 a.m. or whatever the time is that I need to be up. And that's another thing. I had been looking for a smart speaker that can wake me up to music. I don't want to wake up to beep, 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 or something distracting because it's just too alarming, and to start my day off like that is just rough. Especially me trying to do the first 20-minute thing, it's counterproductive. So you can have it set you to wake you up to a podcast, a specific song, a specific radio station, whatever the case may be. I hooked up my Pandora to it. I don't currently have Apple Music hooked up to it because it's not compatible. That's the sucky part, is that Apple didn't really do a great job with creating their own smart speaker. And so they basically have limited Apple users to using other Apple software such as Apple Music on other devices, which sucks because I'm probably going to switch over from Apple Music to Spotify just so I can have that, in my Google Home. But even with just having Pandora, it's able to wake me up to whatever radio station I want. So wake me up to Sade Radio, and in the morning it's sweet as taboo. Like, it's so nice and just soothing, and it kind of I love it. It's just the greatest thing ever, and I could just sit there and listen and gather my thoughts. Then when I'm ready, I tell it to stop. Or I can have it start off with the podcast. So as soon as I wake up, the podcast starts. But I usually do the music, then the music stops, and then it starts playing my podcast. So when you do the routine, so that was the good night routine. The other routine is good morning. So when you say good morning, then you have another set of things. So for me, again, I needed to tell me the weather again. I do run down my list of things to do for that day, events and appointments. And then I have it start my motivational thing, whatever that is. So I have a motivational Pandora Radio that I listen to, so it plays that. And then now when I switch over to Spotify, I'm going to be able to download like motivational speaker audio stuff. I would love if it did audibles, but it doesn't, so whatever. Audible book thing. But it doesn't for now. Maybe later on I think they probably will add that as a feature, just because Audible is an independent thing. It's not like Apple, or it's not associated with anything else, so I think they're probably going to add it later. But it's just amazing for those things. Like, I'm so happy with being able to just, find a way to be more productive and have a device that helps me to be more productive. Because yes, our phones help us to be more productive, but at the same time, it actually helps us to be more distracted. So it's like, it's counterproductive. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it almost eliminates the whole purpose of it being a helpful thing, having everything accessible like that. So anyway, I started out with 2 devices. The one in my bedroom, which is great. I love listening to music when I'm getting ready. And then the one in the kitchen is great because I can do everything without stopping, unlocking my phone, and Googling stuff. Like, I can ask it anything. So aside from the obvious, using it to ask Google questions, things that you normally look up in your phone, it's just super, super helpful. And I just love being able to just walk around and talk to it and not have to touch anything and not stop what I'm doing because I get easily distracted. So that leads me into why I got a third Google Home. So I went and got another one, the Mini, for my bathroom. Now the minis were on sale for Black Friday for $25. They're currently on sale now for 2 for $50, so it's pretty much the same. You may not need to, but they're so awesome, you're going to probably find a reason to have to, because I started out with one, and then I ended up going back and getting 2 more. And I gifted one, and then I went out and got another one, which was a Google Home, which is the bigger one. So the one I have in the bathroom, the only reason I put it there is, one, I like to listen to music when I'm showering. I put it lower in the bathroom so that when the steam rises, it's at a part of the bathroom where not a lot of steam catches. And then I have a window in my bathroom, a fairly big, large window for bathrooms, I guess. And I open the window every time I shower, so all of my steam is at the top, goes out. My Google device is lower in the bathroom, so it doesn't catch the steam. So that's something you want to be mindful of, because I don't think it's waterproof or water resistant. But I put it in my bathroom because, one, I like to listen to music as I'm showering, and I always have like random thoughts and ideas when I'm in the shower and I need to write them down. So all I have to say is, remind me to blah 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 when I get out the shower, or remind me to text such and such, remind me to call such and such, remind me to call back mom, or whatever I need to do. I can just say it in the shower. I don't have to like try to remember on my own. It's the greatest thing ever. Then when I have like little ideas, it can set a reminder to, like, you know how you create a note in your iPhone? It can set a reminder for those things, like remind me to write a blog post about blah blah blah, remind me to look up da 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 da, or whatever you need to do. You can just say it, and it's so awesome having that in the bathroom, just literally mid shower, like, oh dang, I forgot to take this out of the freezer or whatever. You could just say it, and it's going to remind you in 10 minutes or 20 minutes or whatever time you say you want to be reminded. Amazing. Then let's move on to why I got my 4th Google Home. So I have the 2 minis, and I have the Home, which is the bigger one, in my bedroom. I went out and got another Google Home, which is the bigger one, in my office / living room situation. So when I'm in here, I usually spend a lot of time in here, and I didn't think about the fact that I would need one in here. I really thought that because I have a sound bar on my television that I could just stream my audio to my sound bar. But I really have been trying to watch less television because I feel like TV is so distracting and it takes away from my productivity. So I really didn't want to have a reason to even turn the TV on, even just to use the sound bar. So I went ahead and got another one, the bigger one, the Google Home, for this specific room. Now, this is the best thing that I could have ever done. One, I get to play music as I'm cleaning, as I'm editing, as I'm working, as I'm doing whatever. I get to listen to my audiobooks, which I can stream from my phone, because like I said, Audible isn't compatible yet with it, like with the command, the voice command, but everything on your phone is streamable to the device. So I can listen to my audiobooks while I'm in here doing stuff. I can ask it questions. Before, I would have to like yell out into the hallway, or the door had to be open for the devices to hear me in the other room. So having one in here is so much more helpful, because as I'm in here doing stuff, I can just talk to it, tell it to remind me of stuff, have it look stuff up, play things for me. It's just great. And most people, when I was looking up the reviews for the Google Home, most people who had them in all rooms. And at first, I couldn't understand why they had them in all the rooms. I'm like, that's overkill. Like, that's too much. No, but you do, though. And then for them to be such a low price, it's actually doable. So my boyfriend was interested in Sonos speakers, and Sonos speakers are really good. I thought about getting some for my situation as well, but they're so expensive that I was just like, dang. And then I was like, I would want a Sonos speaker to be a smart speaker, because why just have a speaker play music when we live in a day and age now where we can have the speaker do so much more? Honey, the Sonos speakers are so expensive, and for me living in an apartment, completely unnecessary. So that's one thing I wanted to tell you guys that I didn't see or hear in any of the reviews that I read. And I watched hours of reviews on YouTube, CNET, read articles, and I didn't hear anyone mention this. The sound quality on the Google Home, which is the bigger one that retails for $129, which is now on sale for $89, that sound quality is really good in an apartment. Like, it gets pretty loud. Like, people make it seem like, oh, the sound quality isn't that great, because all the reviews I was watching, they were comparing them to like the Google Max, which is the $400 one, the HomePod, which is $350, and the Amazon, whichever the bigger Amazon was. And for sound quality, it didn't come in last, but it always came in third place compared to the HomePod or the Max. But my thing is, for an apartment, like most of those people that were doing those reviews were in houses. They were in like some big home in Jersey or in Atlanta or somewhere in the Midwest, somewhere. But for people living in an apartment, like if you're in anything 700, 800 square feet or less, like shoot, even 1,000 square feet, I think, or less, you can get great sound quality out of the Google Home. Like, you don't need to get like a whole Bose system wired. Like, no, this is so good. Like, I love the sound quality. It is everything. That's what made me go get the second one, the bigger one, to put in here. So like the minis, they don't have the best sound quality. Yeah, they sound kind of tweety when they get loud, but for me they serve the purpose of asking a question and getting an answer, or playing music while I'm in the shower. Like, it don't have to boom 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 while I'm in the shower, because I'm in the shower for like what, 20 minutes. But when I'm walking around the house and I'm cleaning, I like to have the great sound quality that's in the big room, this room here, the office slash living room, and then the bedroom. It's great. That leads me to the next greatest thing about the Google Home. You are able to pair all of your speakers together to play at the same time. So if I'm listening to Drake Radio and Pandora, I'm able to hear Drake throughout my entire apartment. So I can walk into the bathroom and Drake is still playing. I can go into the kitchen, get a glass of water, Drake is still playing. I can go to the bedroom, Drake's still playing. Like, it plays throughout the entire place, and it's so lit because it sounds like you're like in a concert. It's everything. I love it. It's what I really wanted when I was thinking about getting the Sonos. Like, it's everything. So I'm really happy and pleased with that. So when you pair them to work together, you can give your group of speakers a name. It lets you group them together, and you can call it all the speakers, or you can call it my speakers, or whatever. I just call it all the speakers because I don't have time to make anything up there. Remember what I made up. And all you have to do is just say, play Drake Radio on all the speakers. And then it just plays Drake Radio on all, like, it's so good. Or whatever it is you want to play, podcasts or audio, whatever. I can even stream, like, because of the name of the group, all the speakers, whatever I'm listening to on my phone, I can stream it from my phone to all the speakers. It's phenomenal. So shouts out to Google for like creating such an amazing level of technology and really coming through and delivering. Of course, the device isn't perfect. None of them are perfect. They're still improving as you go on. What I do love about it is that as they come out with improvements, all of the updates are sent to your device, so you don't have to go out and buy a new device. Like, everything will be updated in that device as new things get added. It does have a few hiccups and glitches here and there with the Wi-Fi. Like, the Wi-Fi has to be good. That taught me so much. My Wi-Fi was never good. I just found out from Time Warner Cable / Spectrum that my router / modem has basically been in out for like the last 2 years, and it was only giving me a certain level of signal in certain rooms. So I was having a lot of problems sometimes with the Google Home asking questions because it just wasn't connected. And once I solved that problem, it was perfect, and it just made my life so much easier. Now, as far as making your life even better, you can sync everything like Google Calendar and ask it things from Google Calendar. So like for me, anytime I have a flight coming up, I program everything in the Google Calendar. So I don't have to look at my phone anymore. I could just be like, hey, what time is my next trip? Or what time is my next flight? Whatever I need to ask it, it tells me. So it's just like the possibilities are endless. And I just can't believe that, like, where have I been? Because this thing has been out for like a couple years now. But we're here, and I'm here to share it with you and tell you about it. I know this video was extra long, but I wanted it to be super helpful for anyone who knew nothing about Google Home or who's thinking about it, trying to decide. And yeah, so I'm going to do another video comparing the Google Home to the Apple HomePod and let you know why I made that decision. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.